The City of Light is about to shine brighter than ever before. What could be more enthralling than combining the thrill of sports and the race for the gold medal with the glittering Eiffel Tower, the majestic Notre-Dame Cathedral, and the winding River Seine, all serving as the breathtaking backdrop for one of the most anticipated global events? France is pulling out all the stops to make the 2024 Olympics a show-stopping extravaganza that will be remembered for generations to come. Today, we're going to uncover the staggering $10 billion spectacle that's set to captivate the world. Don't forget to show your support by giving this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Together, we can continue creating amazing content. But before we leap into the present, let's take a quick journey back in time to understand how we got here. The Olympic Games, born in ancient Greece around the 8th century BC, were more than just sports competitions. They were grand festivals honoring the gods of Mount Olympus. These ancient games were a big deal, so important that warring cities would call truces just so the games could go on. Fast forward to 1896, and we see the rebirth of the Olympics in Athens, with a modest 14 countries and 241 athletes participating. By then, no one could have imagined that this event would grow into the global phenomenon we know today. Since their modern revival in 1896, they've only been cancelled 3 times, during World War I and World War II. Even the global COVID-19 pandemic couldn't fully stop the Olympic machine. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics were postponed to 2021, the first peacetime postponement in Olympic history. It was a challenging time for athletes and organizers, but the Olympic spirit prevailed. But besides being resilient, the events become massive. It's no longer just about countries sending their best athletes to represent them, but a machine that moves millions and millions of dollars. The cost of hosting the Olympics has skyrocketed faster than a pole vaulter clearing the bar. We're talking about a jaw-dropping leap from a few $1 million to billions. Take the 1976 Montreal Olympics, for instance. It went 720% over budget. Or Barcelona in 1992, with a 266% overspend. And we're just getting started. The 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics takes the gold medal for expense, with a mind-boggling price tag of $21.89 billion. That's 289% more than planned. But why this astronomical increase? Well, it's a perfect storm of factors: state-of-the-art facilities, cutting-edge technology, top-notch security, and the pressure to outshine previous hosts. With that in mind, the upcoming Olympics to be held this year had to prove to be the best of the best. And now, with the Olympics about to start, let's zoom in on Paris 2024. The City of Light's preparing to dazzle the world with an Olympic spectacle that's estimated to cost around $10 billion. But what's behind that huge check? Well, France is going all out to ensure these games are nothing short of magnifique. They're not just hosting an event, they're orchestrating a renaissance of their capital city. There are 2 brand new, state-of-the-art stadiums rising from the Parisian skyline. First, there's the Olympic Aquatic Center, a $204 million marvel that will host diving, artistic swimming, and water polo. Alongside it, the Adidas Arena, a $150 million masterpiece, is set to welcome badminton, rhythmic gymnastics, and weightlifting enthusiasts. With a capacity of 9,000 spectators, it's like a modern-day Colosseum, minus the gladiators and lions, thank goodness. Now, enter the crown jewel of French sports venues, the Stade de France, valued at $705 million. This isn't just any stadium. This 80,000-seat behemoth is a chameleon of sports, having hosted everything from the 1998 FIFA World Cup to rugby championships, and even concerts by music icons like Beyoncé and Celine Dion. Now, it's gearing up to be the epicenter of track and field events and the grand stage for the closing ceremony. But it's not all about new builds. Paris is also making smart use of existing iconic locations. The Eiffel Tower will serve as a backdrop for beach volleyball. The Palace of Versailles will host equestrian events. And the Champs-Élysées? It's being transformed into a venue for cycling events. Though the biggest event will undoubtedly be the opening ceremony, this one promises to make history and rewrite the rulebook. Instead of a traditional stadium event, they chose a flotilla of boats carrying athletes from 206 nations. More than 10,000 athletes gliding down the Seine, passing iconic landmarks like the Eiffel Tower and Notre-Dame. It's set to be a spectacular show, with over 600,000 spectators expected to line the banks of the river. Tickets for this once-in-a-lifetime spectacle range from $98 to $2,945. It may be expensive, but hey, can you really put a price on witnessing history? Speaking of history, Paris is making waves. Literally. For the past 100 years, swimming in the Seine has been strictly forbidden. Since 1923, this iconic river, which winds through the heart of Paris, has been considered too polluted and dangerous for swimmers. Imagine that! Generations of Parisians have grown up seeing this beautiful river every day, but never being able to take a dip in its waters. But here's where it gets exciting. They're investing $1.5 billion to make the river swimmable again. Why does this matter so much? Well, it's about more than just having a nice place to swim. The Seine is the lifeblood of Paris, a symbol of the city's history and culture. The best part is that this isn't just a surface-level cleanup. We're talking about a massive overhaul of the city's infrastructure. They're installing new underground pipes, tanks, and pumps to keep harmful bacteria at bay. One storage tank alone can hold the equivalent of 20 Olympic swimming pools. And once the athletes have packed up their medals and gone home, Parisians will get to enjoy the revitalized river. Starting in 2025, 26 new swimming areas will open up along the Seine. Another aspect where Olympic money is being invested is security, which Paris is taking very seriously. The French government is shelling out $348 million to keep everyone safe. They're deploying over 100 AI-equipped smart cameras across the city. And for the first time in Olympic history, Paris 2024 will use AI-powered monitoring to protect athletes and officials from online abuse. Now, let's talk numbers, because the scale of these games is mind-blowing. We're looking at 10,500 athletes from over 206 countries competing in 329 events across 45 different sports. And that's just the Olympics. The Paralympics will bring another 4,400 athletes from 184 countries, competing in 549 events. It's like hosting the entire world's worth of sporting talent in one city. So, how does Paris plan to accommodate this influx of athletic prowess? Well, they've got 15 Olympic and 11 Paralympic venues scattered across the city center alone. The Pont d'Iéna is being transformed into a cycling arena, while the marathon will take runners on a tour of Paris, starting at the Hôtel de Ville and finishing at Les Invalides. But they're not being selfish. Not all the excitement will be in the city center. For example, the surfing events will take place in Tahiti, part of French Polynesia, nearly 10,000 miles away. It's the farthest an Olympic event has ever been from the host city. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth does Paris afford all this? Well, the total budget for Paris 2024 is a cool 4.4 billion euros. A significant chunk of this, 1.2 billion euros, comes from the International Olympic Committee, or IOC. Of that, 750 million is from TV rights and 470 million from top commercial partnerships with companies like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Visa, and Samsung, among others. Ticket sales, hospitality, and licensing are expected to bring in another 1.4 billion euros, and there's also other commercial partnerships, adding another 1.1 billion to the pot. But let's zoom out for a moment and consider the bigger picture. Why does Paris, or any city for that matter, want to host the Olympics? Sure, there's the prestige and the global spotlight, but it's more than that. It's about legacy. Paris is using the Olympics as a catalyst for urban renewal. They're not just building stadiums, they're revitalizing entire neighborhoods. Take the Olympic Village, for instance. Once the games are over, it will be transformed into a new residential area, providing homes for thousands of Parisians. And let's not forget about the environmental angle. Paris is committed to making these the most sustainable games ever. They're aiming to cut the carbon footprint in half compared to previous Olympics. How? By using existing or temporary venues for 95% of the events, relying heavily on public transport, and even using electric vehicles for the Olympic torch relay. Transportation is getting a major boost too. New metro lines are being built and existing ones extended. The goal is not just to handle Olympic crowds, but to improve everyday life for Parisians long after the games are over. And last but not least, we couldn't forget the economic impact. The games are expected to create 150,000 jobs and boost tourism in the years following the event. It's a massive investment, but one that Paris hopes will pay dividends for decades to come. Hosting the Olympic Games is no small feat. It's a monumental undertaking that requires years of planning, billions of dollars, and the efforts of countless people. But for Paris, it's also an opportunity to show the world what the French are made of. As we count down to the opening ceremony on July 26, 2024, the excitement is building around the athletes and around the City of Light. But for now, keep an eye on Visionary, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we bring you more exciting content like this. Until next time, au revoir et vive les Jeux Olympiques!